Yeah, it's
Eye
really
patch
fun.
just
Nice growly.
crazy takes, dude.
It's really fun driving around when you can like kind of see out of one eye.
Must feel like when I had my allergic reaction, I literally my eye was swollen.
You got kind of
Yeah,
big eyes though. Yeah, nah.
my shit's be fucked up. Like they did the surgery on them and they never really got better.
What do they do for surgery?
They flip your eyelid inside out and then they cut it open and squeeze out all the shit.
Oh my God, dude. You get
It's
fucking fatality.
Dude, it's absolutely brutal. They give you they stab you with a fucking needle. It's like that fucking long to numb up your eyelid. It doesn't fucking work. And they did one side and they're like, yeah, we can do the other one today or you can come back. I was like, if you don't do the other one today, I'm not fucking coming back. Like this hurts so fucking hard. It's like I'm already in the fucking chair. Get this shit over with.
Yeah, you
Fuck.
already got yourself there. Like that's the worst part about the doctors. Like how you get yourself there, you're sitting in the fucking chair. You just gotta get it over with at that point.
For
Bro, I
real, like
couldn't.
this hurts so bad, I'm not gonna come back and do it again another day. Just get it done now. I'm never
Yeah,
coming back.
it was terrible. I couldn't fucking see for like 2 days because I had both of them done. And they all swole up afterwards and shit. And like just now they're all puffed up and fucked up. It's not like I was winning any fucking beauty contest.
How do you get styes in your eye anyways?
I'm really sensitive to it. It's like get dirt and shit in there, and then like it fucking just turns into a pimple, basically. You know,
I
like
don't
with
think I've ever
working,
gotten one.
it's like well, I work around dirt a lot, like fucking dumping and shit like that. So
Do you not like
Yeah,
wash your hands?
I do, but like if you like a fucking cloud of dust comes up and hits you in the face, and like it just gets underneath your eyelid, and then you're fucked. Because I'm sensitive to it. Most people, you just work it out, but
I'm gonna
not
say
my
like
big sensitive ass.
I'm gonna say to come to your defense too, Steve. I'm pretty sure some people just have like my roommate brother got them all the time, and it would just be because he like his pores are just like fucked on his eye, and like it would just be like moisturizer would do it. Like anything on your. Some people just are more susceptible to getting them. Almost like some people are more susceptible to regular pimples, like from anything, you know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like
It's a bad
it could even be like
fucking,
Aquaphor get causes it. I heard.
it's a
Steve, you
bad
got some
roll.
fucked up physical genetics. You're susceptible to get styes. You're fucking got ingrown toenails, dude.
That was just, I think the ingrown toenails were just from playing so much fucking basketball and just jamming them inside of my feet for so long.
Bigger
Ugh.
shoes.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't, I'm already wearing a size 13.
Yeah,
Like,
it's already
I
rare.
gotta jump up to a 14. Like, they don't make a 13 and a half.
Maybe you need a wide, like a 13 wide.
I usually get the wides with everything. I don't know, I get the wides with my work boots.
Guys
It's
get
also, I
fucking
wear fucking
flippers.
steel toes for a living too, so like that doesn't help either.
Dude, I got fed feet. I for my running shoes, I had to get like the 4X version of wideness. Like I had to like shop. I got Brooks and extra wide because I hear they're good for fat-footed people like me.
Yeah, I
Dude,
got
that's why
fat feet
you're
too.
an absolute fucking unit on the fucking boards. Like you just got such a strong base with those big ass fucking feet. Like you're just boxing out like a motherfucker.
Long arms and big feet.
Oh my god. That's the opposite of fucking Cody.
What?
You
I
got
got
little feet
fat
and
feet.
short arms.
Yeah, you say I have little feet. I don't. I have nine and a half shoe size.
A 9.5, Jacob. What size foot are you?
It depends on the brand, but like 10 and a half or 11.
Yeah, there
Nine
you
and a
go. You got
half is
little
like
ass feet.
the planet wide average.
Little ass feet over here. Little ass foot boy.
No, it's just
Planet
average, dude.
average.
Yeah, it's probably way above average if you're going planet wide. We're pretty. I feel like we're big. US people are just bigger with that stuff anyway. If you go worldwide, you're probably
Yeah,
way
but
above.
I'm just saying, for a guy who claims to be 6 feet tall to only have 9.5 foot, 9.5 size foot, like, I don't
I
know.
got like small mandibles. I got short arms, small
You'd be an
fingers.
elite runner. That explains why you're so fucking quick to get off the fucking line.
I'm really good at lifting weights because my arms don't have to go very far.
Yeah.
Like
I remember when I
lifting
used
weights
to
when you're
bench
tall
press,
and
oh
lanky.
shit. I was the
Yeah,
worst at bench pressing. I was trying to push that motherfucker so far. Like, I don't
people
fucking
who
know how to
kill
do it.
those, like the linemen that kill those usually in like the combine are the ones with like small arms. They're just like,
Yeah. But
yeah,
the
they.
best linemen are the guys who can just keep you away with their big ass fucking maws.
Well, that's just why combine stuff's weird.
Like what's his name? There was a guy. He's like 6'8", 340 pounds. Amarius Mims or whatever. He's drafted in the first round this year as left tackle. He's gonna be like the best left tackle in the league for like 10 years now. Unless, barring injury. I
You
think the
think Aaron
Bengals might
Donald would
draft
have
him.
taken his fucking lunch or what?
Hmm?
You think Aaron Donald would have taken his lunch? Those guys with
Maybe.
the
I
long
mean,
arms, they have problems with those quick guys, and Aaron Donald had a lot of quick moves.
Donald wouldn't. I mean, maybe he would, but Donald wouldn't really line up on him. He's probably more getting the ends, keeping the
Yeah,
ends
that's true.
away.
Your best rushers are always on the ends.
Yeah, Donald he's in the middle. He's really good at shedding blockers through the middle, getting through gaps and shedding through the middle. But
What a baller move by him to just end his career like that. And I think that's just a good move. Like just kind of call it quits when you're still nasty. Just like, but you're kind of on the later side of being nasty, and you know football's so bad on you. So
he'd
it's
be the
like
best defensive tackle in the league this year if he came back
he doesn't, but
again.
he kind of is like fine with he's like, I know I don't need to be anymore. So I'll make the Hall.
Amazing.
He's a certified first ballot Hall
Yeah,
of Famer.
that's
He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a multi-millionaire. The only reason he'd want to stay is to get another bag, and he's like, I'm not putting myself through. I have a kid. Like,
Off of that. Yeah.
I'm not
he
doing
could do
that.
that in media, you know?
How long did he
Yeah,
play for?
I guarantee.
Yeah.
He's like 32. He's not that old.
He only played for like what, like 10 years?
Yeah, and I think he was all
No,
pro.
I don't even think he played for 10 years.
Wasn't he all pro all of his years, even his rookie year, which is insane, I think. I think he like literally was I think he was the best like all his whole career basically.
He came out
What a
of Pitt.
plain name. What an absolutely plain name too for a guy who's just an all-time great, Aaron Donald.
Seriously, 300.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 33 years old, 284 pounds, 6'1".
Dude, what a fucking unit.
He's
Six
just an
foot-
absolute.
Dude, I weigh
brick.
284 and I'm 6'1", dude. Like, look at the difference between us.
Yeah, he has like a legitimate 12 pack.
He has legit muscle. Like, I'm just a big fucking fat slob.
He's like if Miles Garrett was shorter. Is what he
Miles
looks
Garrett's another guy. Who's like, holy shit. He's the best defensive. He's the best defensive player in the league, I think, right now.
Yeah, because Donald's gone now, yeah.
I just said that. Is that true?
I don't
Is
know.
Barcavius
It sounds-
Mingo still playing?
Huh?
Is Barcavius Mingo still playing?
No, I think he actually is like just got arrested. By the way,
Oh, yeah. That's just a random name that I know because that name is sick.
he played for the Pats for a bit. Aaron Donald, 337 tackles, 111 sacks.
Yeah. And what, a 9-year career, 10-year career?
Not 9 years, 9 or 10 years. Yeah. Damn, son.
Dude, that's fucking elite.
Does it say if he was all pro every year?
Is there a football reference? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. I learned that too, and I was like, I just use reference for everything because I like how they show the awards.
They're reference. The reference websites are by far the best websites.
Dude, yeah, it is. Whenever I like click on NBA.com or ESPN, it makes me like mad. I'm like, "Ugh, so much harder to use.
10-time Pro Bowler. So yeah, he played like 10 years. 10-time Pro Bowler, 8-time All Pro, Super Bowl champ, all 2010s Hall of Fame team, 3-time AP Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Holy shit, man!
Oh,
He's
so
A lot of
what's-
stuff.
I don't know what the PFWA is, but
Pro Football or something. I don't know. Writers
A lot of
Association.
shit.
AP is the one you care about.
what's the difference between a fucking Pro Bowl and an All Pro?
It's like
Like
I
an
think it's their
All-Star game versus
rendition.
an All NBA?
It's their rendition of like NBA teams, all NBA teams. I think.
Then Pro Bowl
Like-
is just an All-Star game, yeah.
Yeah, because you can make the basketball Pro Bowl. I mean, the All Star game. You can be a basketball All Star and not make an All NBA team.
Yeah, but isn't the Pro Bowl, like, you still get credit for the Pro Bowl even if you don't play in it?
Yeah,
Because you got selected? Because I know, like, most people don't play in it.
Brady. I think Brady played once, or I don't even know if he ever played.
I don't know.
I guarantee he made it 15.
I
plus
would have
seasons.
probably played at least once if I was a quarterback, just because, like, I could go to Hawaii and hang out and go chuck a ball for a half a quarter and then go home.
And
Sick.
shout out a guy you hate in his 4-year tawdry career, Mac Jones, 1-time Pro Bowler.
Mac Jizzle. I don't hate him. I wish the best for him. I just didn't think he was that good of a quarterback.
Nah, fuck him now. I don't want
Hey,
him.
that picture of him in the Jaguar shit with the Lambo from the 80s, that went hard, dude.
Kind of hard, yeah. It really, I mean, it's interesting. It's so funny that I was so much on the Mac is better than Trevor train, and jury is still out on that. I get why people like Trevor because he can put it all together, and he's just like an infinitely better athlete. Now that they're on the same team, I think it's really funny that they're gonna like
They're going to
I don't
compete
know.
for a job.
well, I don't think they're gonna compete. I think Trevor Lawrence is easily the day one starter, but like I don't know, that guy just can't stop throwing picks to save his life. Mac Jones at least had the fucking he had nobody to throw to and no offensive line. What is Trevor's excuse?
Plays for Jacksonville.
True that. All right. Well, that was your NFL.
How about these Celtics?
As we start off a Celtics podcast talking about the NFL and Aaron Donald, my all-time favorite podcast clip is, pardon my take, talking to Aaron Donald and DK Metcalf, and they're like, "Yeah, DK said that he can bench more than you." And Aaron was like, "Oh, is that right?" And like DK's like, "Yeah." He's like, "How much do you bench?" And Aaron goes, "I don't know, about 5." He goes, 500. He goes, "Yeah." DK goes, "Can I change my answer?" Oh my
DK is a
God.
fucking freak, but his arms are huge, like
Yeah, I mean, he's a
long.
freak, but Aaron Donald is like another level of strong, though.
I'm
Like
telling you, man, the shorts. When it comes to lifting weights, you want a short, stumpy guy.
yeah, but it's a different position though. Like you need strength
That's
more
true.
as a lineman than you do as a receiver.
Although I guarantee, if you got him in a foot race, it's
It's
probably not
close,
that. Yeah, it's probably not that much of a blowout in DK's
but I mean,
favor.
like he's DK's a different kind of receiver though. He's like go up and get it receiver. Like if you put like Tyreek Hill next to fucking like
I
Aaron
think
Donald,
DK is
he would
probably
get his
faster than Tyreek in a straight line.
Aaron Donald.
No, DK. DK. Like if you remember coming out of college, he like in the on the what is it, the combine, he like had like a 4.2.
Really? I didn't know
He
he was
just
that
had like an
fast.
awful cone drill, and he's 6 foot fucking five, 265 pounds of pure steel. Like
Yeah,
he's a freak of nature athlete, but he is the type of guy who will go up and get it too. But he can do it all.
maybe the Patriots should get a guy like that, huh?
We could have.
I'm pretty sure he's like Dwight Howard too, and he just like eats candy.
Yeah,
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 I've
he
seen
has like a.
podcast clips of that. He's like, yeah, I eat like 3 bags of Skittles a day, and then at lunchtime I have a couple of ho-hos and
Doesn't
fucking.
even matter, man. He would no matter what he would have just ended up at this path. Like he didn't he just clearly doesn't like he did not really have to try. It seems he just is a freaking physical god.
It's also just like
DK.
how much work they do during a day too for their
Yeah.
training. Like Ocho Cinco used to eat McDonald's all
Uh,
the time. Just he's
Used to.
burning it
I was
off.
just about to say he still eats McDonald's like every day. DK, Chad Ochocinco, Donald Trump eat McDonald's every day. Superior athletes. Everybody knows it.
At least with McDonald's, you're getting like a burger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And candy is just freaking just artificially just like that's like drinking. That's just like
Sugar.
fake stuff.
It's just pure sugar. Like, hey, how
Yeah.
can we form this sugar in a new way that's appealing to people?
It's just a fat, pure fat. Um, all right. Well, that was fun.
Celtics.
Let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring Cody Adams and Steve Crowley. We are the Banner Report.
We are. We're eventually gonna get there.
We're the Banner Report, and Banner 18 is 2 games away.
We might have a
Gentlemen.
banner to report on.
We're going to have the 18th to report on soon. The Celtics, they're playing the Dallas Mavericks, as you guys are well aware. They finished their homestand game 1 and 2 successfully, 2-0 against the Mavs. Game 1, they beat the Mavs 107-89. And in game 2, they beat the Mavs 105-98. A lot to dissect in these 2 games. I guess I'll just start off with Tatum. What is going on?
You could have just said Tatum what? He's like that's what it is. It's what? You
I
just look
mean,
at it. Like, he's missing the shots he's getting are good shots. He's just missing them, which I think he's just a little bit in his head. He's forcing it a little bit, but
can I
the
say he looks a
evolution.
bit tired?
I don't think he looks tired at all. I mean, he blows. He had 29 drives to the rim on game 2, and like he averages for the season 9 per game. Like he had 18 in game 1, 29 in game 2. So like he's getting to the rim. He's just blown by Luka every time. But the
Oh
evolution of
yeah.
Jason Tatum this year is, in the last couple of years, I should say, is that like his offense doesn't affect him anymore. If he's having an off shooting night, he's still doing everything else. He had 12 assists last night. He had
How many do you have the
9
first game?
boards. He only had 2 or 3 turnovers, I think, last night. Like every time they threw a double at him, he made the right play. Like he was elite defense too. He got a couple steals in the fourth quarter. Like he's still dominating the game in other ways, even though the shot's not there. So you got to figure Water's going to find his level at some point, and
Yeah.
he's going to have one of those games where it's going to be like, oh shit.
Yeah, I saw he has the most total points and total rebounds in the playoff. No, total rebounds and assists in the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything. So the out of the main three, he is leading in two of them still. Yeah. The thing
Wait,
is,
for the Celtics or for the because
for the
that
whole
Luka
league. Yeah, like
really
he has more
even
points
with
and
Luka.
assists. No, I keep saying points. He's more rebounds and assists.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, not points. Points is
I
the
was
one
gonna
he's
say.
not. Say, but he's just and everything else. He like that's the thing. He's still positive, and you see the Mavs game plan. They're still treating him like the best scorer. So that's all that really matters, honestly. Like, and he's taking it as it goes. Like I wrote on earlier, like he literally from someone inside Tatum's camp, they called like he's gonna try to get 15 assists tonight and he ended up with 12. Like he's still kind of getting what he wants. If the shots just aren't hitting, like the amount of drives and kicks that are like crucial are crazy. He's still
Yeah.
like his decision making is really good, which is really all that matters in the end because the shots will come back, I believe. But I think he'll have a 25 plus point game in the next two. But I think the shots will come back. What matters is that I don't think he's getting rattled by it, which is good. Because he's not like like yesterday. If he was getting, I feel like the previous Tatum would have been turning the ball over because he's missing so much. But he was
Wasting
kind
it
of
a
still
little bit more.
composed. And, yeah, he believes in everyone else around him.
It's like sort of representative of the whole year. Like, not that he couldn't score during the whole year. He's one of the best offensive players in the league, period. It's just his scoring went down because he's doing everything else. Like he's dishing the ball, point Tatum, he's crashing the boards. Like I won't remember his game two performance offensively. Obviously, I won't remember his game one performance either. Besides, the driving kicks, which is awesome. But the play that I remember is, I think with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter of game two, the Mavs were coming back and we couldn't get anything going. And I think somebody on the Mavericks bricked an open three, and then they got the ball back, and then they shot it again. He just crashed the boards in like the middle of two Mavs, came down with it, and like I just remember like him just going up, being like a key rebounder in the series when KP's not. Who knows what's going on with him? Like he's the best rebounder in the game, in any of these games,
On both
right?
sides too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like
Dude,
I think.
on a consistency basis, yeah.
he's like I think he plays defense as their center and he plays offense as their point guard.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's guarding the center every time. That's what's really fucked them up. Is because they have no idea what to do with that. They're like, what? Like he's the one stopping the lob threats and like doing all that in Lively because he's stronger than Lively. It
Yeah,
kind of
they
messed them up.
the Mavericks like gave up trying to hunt like Derek White and the centers and everything last game. They just said, all right, Gafford, I don't care if Tatum's covering you, just come up and set the screen and we're gonna see if Luka can beat Tatum. And he actually shot decent against Tatum. I think he shot like 50% against him for the game, but like Luka was just on a heater. Like there's not really much you can do. And Tatum made him work for him. He didn't give up any threes.
It
And
was
like
yeah.
I mean,
Luka just
we're
worked
having a
the threes.
relatively like nightmare scenario finals. Like we can't hit threes. We had like maybe the worst 3-point shooting game of the year in game two. Like
Yeah.
we couldn't hit water falling out of a boat. Chris Porzingis obviously re-aggravated something or hurt something, and he couldn't play a lot in game two. And I mean, he says he's going to play in game three, but we'll see in what capacity. Uh, Luka's going off. We're having just like everything that we'd be worried about before the series is sort of happened or happening, and the Celtics are still 2-0. And it's just a testament to like this team is just a league into its own. There's no team that's so well built as a unit, like depth wise, 1 through 5 wise. Like there's just no team like that besides the Celtics, and the Mavericks are definitely not like that. As you're seeing, they can't get anybody outside of Luka going. And Kyrie, I mean, that's also probably the second biggest storyline is that he is like, uh, I don't
He's in
know what's
hell.
going on with him. He's
He's in
having a
a
tough
fucking
series.
jacket. It's not even. I can't really even blame him for that one. You got Derek White and Drew Holiday chasing around the entire game.
And
You
Jalen, like,
finally you get a switch and it's Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown picking you up now. It's like, oh, where are you gonna find your airspace? That's why every one of Kyrie's buckets ends up on Twitter because a crazy difficult shot that he made because it's Kyrie's gonna do it. But like it's like, all right, he made three of those, but then look at all the rest of them that he missed. Then
yeah,
you end up with
their second best player is getting like 12 points a game. Our second best player, Jalen Brown, is getting over 20 a game. Like, it's just there's different levels to do it right now.
have we seen an A game for the Celtics yet? Do
No,
you think the game one was an A game?
uh, I'd say
People,
it's a B plus B.
yeah.
B, B plus, somewhere around there,
That
yeah.
that third quarter they came out so slow, and it was just
Yeah.
that's when they cut it to
Well,
8. I was like, uh
you
oh.
took the punch in the third quarter, and then you responded, and you took the game back over again, which is something that we've always worried about with this team. I mean, other than this year, I haven't really worried about it this year. This team is different, but the teams have passed. And it's like we're getting all the boogeymen off our back in this series. You know,
Yeah, I mean the
you got
Celtics are not going to shoot like they did in Game 2. I guarantee it.
yeah. I mean, well, if you look at what we were worried about before the series. All right, Tatum's not going to show up and play well. Like we think he played well, we didn't shoot the ball well, but the Celtics are still winning. Game one, you know, you got a big 30-point lead in that game, or a 29-point lead. You gave it all the way up to what, 6 or 8 in that game?
8.
And then you fired back and blew it right back up to 20. And
Yeah,
then
and
you
it was
responded.
like
You didn't
the
just
Mavs comeback in game. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Go
yeah,
ahead.
you didn't just cradle. You didn't just, you know, turtle on them and give up the lead. And then game two, nobody can hit water falling out of a boat. Like you said, like it was one of the worst 3-point shooting games uh of our season, and we still found a way to win that game. So it was like all the things that everybody said that the Celtics were was in their DNA and in their genes that this is gonna happen, and we're just knocking them off one by one.
Hmm. Yeah, they're just they're. There's no other way to say it. They're a league above. There's no other team. Maybe the Nuggets. I don't know.
Not the Nuggets this year were not the Nuggets of last year either.
Yeah, I
Like
don't know
we
with
saw them this year.
KCP.
They didn't look like they were last year. They might have been fatigued from last year because those title runs take a lot out of you.
And you got to get lucky to have the health too.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
But
that's
I was just gonna say they gotta freaking they gotta stop calling I think I've said it before and I think I've heard it from other places. It's not like I made it up, but we don't have like Batman and Robin. We have the Avengers on our team. It's
Yeah,
like the whole
it's
team.
not a
They gotta
one and
stop
two.
talking about the Jays. Like we have an collection.
It's a
yeah.
team. This is like this is like a much more skilled offensive 04 Pistons team. Like
It's like if the O 04, yeah, if the O 04 Pistons were like historically one of the best offensive teams of all time too.
yeah, like if Ben Wallace could shoot, like it would be that.
I tell you what would the Celtics what would do the Celtics have to do to like will we look back in 20 years just as like I mean I know we will as Celtics teams and we'll say that was one of the best Celtics teams we've ever saw. Like
This is the best Celtics team I've ever seen
exactly. Like will we
already.
look back in the where will we look back in 20 years and compare them to like the greatest teams of all time?
Well, if you look at it, and if we finish off this sweep, you're gonna finish the season 80-20. You have an 80% win percentage for an entire year, like with the number one, with the highest ranked offensive efficiency of all time, the number two defense in the league. Jacob had all the stats you sent us earlier about like it would be like the third highest win percentage of all time if we swept behind the 16-17 Warriors and the what was it, the 91 Bulls
Mm.
Yeah,
or the 01 Lakers.
would have benefited by like some new kind of like how some new teams might have the edge with NFL just because there's like more games in the playoffs now. So like a lot of them lost 2 times only, but because they only had to win 3 in the first round. Like
Yeah.
there were but not a lot. There's like 3 15-2. I shouldn't say a lot. There's like 3 or 4 15-2 teams of all time. And it's
Mhm.
like Tim Duncan, David Robinson, the Bad Boy Pistons, MJ, and then it'd be us, that Warriors team, and the Lakers. And then I think like there were a few. I don't think the Celtics ever had a I don't think they ever got only 2 losses, but I think they had like a few. Like the Bird, I think 2 of the Bird runs were like only like 3 losses.
That
So
01 Lakers team, they lost 2 games. I thought they only lost one that whole series.
no, it was one, I think. Yeah.
They lost to Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson put on an absolute clinic in game one of the finals, and then they got blown out the next four.
Shows how good AI was.
Dude,
Only
that
one
guy
to
was
beat him.
We forget about him. I feel like he's one of those guys that gets overlooked a lot in the history books just because he never won.
Yeah. And
Charles
then
would be too
Charles
if he wasn't
Barkley.
on. I was gonna say Charles just is on TV so much that,
Yeah.
but I think if he wasn't, he'd be the same.
Yeah, if we didn't see Charles all the time, then we would forget how great he was. And people still don't even know how great he was. People see him on TV and think he's just a personality.
Did Allen
Like
Iverson
he,
ever win a MVP?
yeah, he won one the year that he lost to Jordan in the finals, and everybody
Yeah,
says that's what Jordan used for his fuel for that for that
I,
finals
I wonder
because
how many,
Jordan's a sicko.
dude. I wonder how many people consider like Chuck as close. Like, I wonder if people know that he's much closer to Shaq than he is to Kenny on that broadcast. Like, I wonder if people think that Shaq's like I mean, Shaq is like one of the goats, but Charles was like an MVP and
Oh,
almost beat MJ in the finals.
me and Cody were just talking about the '03 Shaq yesterday, and he had a game against the fucking I think Cleveland. No, the Pacers. He had fucking in the finals. He had 44 points, like 19 rebounds, and like 3 blocks. And he had 39 free throws in that game because
Yeah,
they
but
just
what was
couldn't
his
do anything.
percentage?
I don't know what the percentage was, but if you had 39 free throws and you ended up with 44 points, it probably wasn't good.
No, yeah.
I'd be fouling too because he's going to get two otherwise. But his dominance was unbelievable. But you're right, is a lot, sorry, Charles is a lot closer to Shaq than he is to Kenny. And that's not saying Kenny wasn't a great player. He's got 2 titles. And he was the number 2 to Hakeem on 2 title teams. He's still a really good player, but like Charles was, didn't he have a 50-point game in the finals against Jordan? Like they took Jordan to 6 in that.
Yeah, it was like
Exactly. It's like not Charles Barkley's fault that he played against Michael Jordan. That's how I chalk it. Like Charles Barkley would be one of the greatest, considered one of the greatest of all time, if Michael Jordan just didn't like dominate.
There's a lot of players that would be considered a lot better if Jordan wasn't there.
That's true. Carmelo.
He
Yeah.
took out a lot of great players.
if only Charles did Hakeem Olajuwon's luck.
Yeah, that one year that Jordan was gone, Hakeem was like, okay, this is
It was
mine
back. It
now.
wasn't back to back. He was like, I got these 2 years, and then MJ came back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I don't
Jordan
know.
missed half the next year, right? It wasn't he missed one full season and then half the next one or
I don't
something like that, and then came back and then it wasn't Jordan.
I don't even know.
I can't remember. I get the timelines all fucked up. I can't barely remember what I did yesterday.
It's been such a whirlwind. I can't like even remember from the game last night. It's just like it's just been such a whirlwind of a run here for the Celtics.
How
Uh,
nervous
eh,
were you guys last night?
Fairly nervous when we couldn't quite separate from them and the shooting was just not there. I was like, we're like one Luka Doncic going nuclear, run away from going to Dallas 1-1, and we got in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. I was like, uh oh, we couldn't get anything going, and then JB absolutely fried Luka.
Hmm.
I
No,
was
we
like,
fried PJ Washington and then Luca fucking jumped out of the way like there was a freight train coming down the lane.
yeah. But no, there was one where Luka was playing like really tough defense, and I think it was on JB. It could have been on Tatum, and they were he was the whoever had the ball, I don't remember, was dribbling it back and forth between their legs, and like he shook him right, Luka was on him. He shook him left again, Luka was on him. He went right and then went left again, and just completely juked Luka out of his shoes to
Dust.
her clearly into the clear path to the lane. I don't
Jay,
know.
how nervous were you?
I was definitely like nervous enough that I was convinced. I was like talking myself into the fact. I was like, oh, it's like we're gonna win the finals with having lost three of the 4 game 2s, and we have recovered at least in the other 2 series. Like I was kind of like being like, oh, other than the Pacers, we did this the other series. At least there's that. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head. But we won because this is the new Celtics.
I don't know. I don't know if I hit like Nirvana or Zen or if I was just so fucking fried from golfing yesterday that I just wasn't really nervous at the end. I was looking at the way that we were playing offense and every shot that we were getting was good looks. And I was just trusting like, hey, these guys are great. Like you trust the offense, you made the right play every time and you made them work every time on defense. You weren't giving up anything easy on defense. So I had a lot of faith in that one. I don't know why my nerves were not at the level. My nerves were much higher in game one and we were blowing them out. Like when we gave up that lead to 8 points in game one, I was much more nervous than last night when we gave up the lead to 5.
Yeah, I feel like there was only two. There's three uh-oh moments I've had so far in these two games. when Luca hits that three in the first game and to get to 8 points, and he's like, yeah, he's like shit talking the crowd. He's like, yeah, motherfucker, like I'm here. That was like a no shit moment. And then the Celtics go on to win by fucking double digits. So, and then there was the Chris Porzingis, and I swear to God, he got hurt on when he was trying to. Kyrie had him out on an island, and he went to like go to the lane, and they took a step back, and Chris went to. He was like trying to go back and then jump forward to get to block a shot, and that's when he came up lame a little bit. I was like, oh no, and he started limping. That was the second oh fuck moment, and then the third oh fuck moment was with like 2 minutes left when they got it to 6 or 8 points or whatever. I was like, oh fuck. That was and that was it. Other than that, Celtics were winning these games by 10, 20, 10 points. So, so it was like kind of hard to complain.
It was pretty clear too. One thing that was easy to like get around to is it was pretty clear that Luka was getting gas too last night. I mean, like he literally like he flamed out. He like his start of his game was crazy.
In
Like,
the
what do you
fourth quarters of the last two games, he's 2 of 10.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing Embiid like right now.
And it's not even like he was getting bad looks either. I mean, you could argue a lot of his looks aren't great, but like
They're
he
great
was
for
he
him.
was he was getting like he was hitting them all in the first half, and then it's like when the second half hits, he just starts. Yeah, his percentage must just absolutely plummet because he's getting clean threes and bricking them, long twos, bricking them. Those are all generally money shots for him. And yeah, and then if the ultimate thing is if Kyrie Irving is not gonna be Kyrie Irving this series, the Celtics are gonna sweep. It's over.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
he can't do it by
he
himself.
hasn't been since he doesn't play like himself against us because we play him so well. Like I
Yeah,
don't know if people
We're
thought he
both.
would play well. He hasn't. Like we swept them with him. Like this might be the second sweep time we've swept Kyrie.
Yeah, he swept him
Swept
with
the
the Nets.
Nets, and
yeah.
then like in the regular season we've washed him. So it's like
0-12 in the last
yeah,
12.
Luca does well against us, so that means that Kyrie obviously doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's Kyrie's like it's hell for him. 'Cause like I said, you got to try and fight through Drew and Derek, and then if you somehow find a way to get by that, then all right, then we have a second line defensive in the back. Like you're gonna run into a second defender, whether it's Al or it's KP or Tatum or JB sitting down there in the low man with Derek Lively, and like it's like all right, you worked so hard to get by one guy, and there's a second guy there waiting for you.
Yeah. The Celtics defense is like they'll write like playbooks on how the Celtics play defense against the best
Well,
scoring
so you can write as
duo
many
of all
playbooks
time.
as you want, and you can watch as much film as you want, but if you don't have two of the best guard defenders of all time on your team,
Who have different specialties in a way too. Like D White's kind of like slender and high flying and like get the best blocks in the league, and then you have like Drew who's like stout and like a brick wall for Kyrie to try to get through, but also quick. But like mostly his strength is kind of why he's such a beast for a guard.
his hands are so fast though.
Yeah,
Like when he
Yeah.
picks your pocket, it's like how the fuck did his hand get there?
dude, as
And
a
that
duo, he can do it all.
that's so funny how you said the Celtics. The Celtics are like the Avengers, like, and it feels because like I don't know, Drew Holiday is a number two player on any other team. He's like our number three or four guy, and
Maybe not
his.
any other team, not every team, but most teams he's probably two or three.
I mean, who would you rather have, Dame Lillard or Drew Holiday?
Well, yeah, I mean that's just shitting on the Bucks for fun because it's fun, but like, would you rather have AD or Drew Holiday? Like,
He
who would
was a
you rather
number
have,
two for
Drew
a
Holiday?
title team, so
Yeah, for the team that fucking got rid of him.
Yeah, which is hilarious because it's like, hey, let's get rid of the fucking most important guy or the second most important guy on our championship team because Dame Lillard looks like he's fun to have around at 34 years old.
That's so funny. Dame Lillard's the top. He made the 75 all-time list, but like he's not a better player than Drew Holiday. He's a better scorer, absolutely. He's a better shooter, you know,
He's
definitely.
got the
But like,
accolades that Drew doesn't have. That's the problem.
yeah, but
Drew's,
what does
Drew's
Drew
got
have
the
that he doesn't?
Drew's got the title, which he doesn't have.
Yeah.
And Drew probably should have a deep play at some point too. Like I think he should have taken one of Rudy's at some point.
just
I
steal it.
don't. I don't think that Rudy should have four. I'm sorry. I don't think he should have four. He's
Yeah.
really good at one part of defense. Like he's. I don't think he's ever led the league in rebounding. He just leads the league in blocks.
Yeah, I feel like the tune will change if he wins a title with the Timberwolves, but for now, it basically seems like a model that's like elite defense for the regular season, but then sort of can fall apart in the playoffs, which kind of feels sucky to rewards. I mean, it's a regular season award, but you're right. It's like it kind of feels flawed, so it's silly. But if they end up winning a chip and he's the anchor, then you're like, all right, I guess some of it's that will definitely if Ant can get them there, that will justify some of it. But for now, yeah, it's like it kind of like rears its ugly head, like his faults in the playoffs so far.
It really rears its head because you can game plan for him. Like in the regular season, like my third game in 4 nights against the Timberwolves on the second night of a back to back after I played Portland the night before. It's like, all right, I'm not game planning to try and get Rudy Gobert off the floor. I'm just trying to get through the game. But when it comes down
Interesting.
to a 7 game series and you're going to give me a couple days between games to check out, hey, how's he playing this defense? How can we exploit him over here? And he's a non factor on offense. Like, he's not a good playoff player at this point.
Kristaps Porzingis is a what defensive player compared to Rudy Gobert? He is a what
I think he's
defensive
only a
player?
couple steps behind him because like
You
their
think
their
so?
block rate is very close. I think that this year Kristaps Porzingis' rim protection numbers are better than Rudy Gobert's. No, I think Kristaps is like fourth. I think Rudy Gobert was like first or second.
But like it just blocking, I'd say they're more similar than people think though. But I'd say that the you got to consider defensive rebounding though too.
Yeah, and Porzingis is a good rebounder, but it's also like, do we ask him to rebound on this team? Because you also have a team with Drew Holiday, Derek White, and Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum out there. So
Who's like the best rebounder in
yeah, like we're just
rebounding wing
talking
in the
earlier,
league?
like in the playoffs, been one of the best rebounders in the league. So
He's just too good at shooting, so I feel like every team he's been on, it serves them to kind of use him as a spacer more.
yeah,
I feel like KP's weirdly slightly better on the perimeter than Gobert. Maybe
I
that's
think
just
he's,
not
I
true.
think he's way better on the perimeter than Gobert.
They're
I
not.
think,
They're both not great on the perimeter.
I think you could probably say that. I'd say KP is like a step below average on as a perimeter. For a big, he's an average perimeter defender. But for a,
They're both like
eh,
7'2", so
yeah, no, but for an NBA player, he's a little bit below average because he's 7'2".
yeah.
Foot speed's not there.
Now KP is a what blank player all around than Rudy Gobert.
I'd take him like 10 times out of 10 over Rudy Gobert. Like I, if you wanted to start your franchise with either Rudy Gobert or Kristaps Porzingis, and you picked Rudy Gobert, then you end up with the Utah Jazz. Like that's what it is. Like Porzingis will give you almost the same rim protection, a little bit better perimeter defense, and infinitely better offense. Like Rudy Gobert, if you make him dribble the ball, he doesn't know what to do.
You know,
Which I
Yeah,
mean, I guess in his defense, he's so fucking tall that by the time the ball hits the floor, he forgot that he dribbled it. So, like,
yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one because I think you're right. Like at his core, you're like if you're in a vacuum, you look at Kristaps' skills, but I just feel like Kristaps just gives me the heebie-jeebies health wise, and in a way that Rudy definitely doesn't give anyone. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
The only thing, like, if you're building around Kristaps, it's like, can you even give him a workload to carry that? Like
you build around Chris
in a
Stepps.
vacuum, I'll take
Yeah,
him.
well, you would do what you did this year with the Celtics, where it's like if you're gonna build around Chris Stapps, get some other guys that can float you through the regular season, get them to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's hard, tough to find seven like those tall freaks that like there. It's just tough to find. Like they, not all of them can like handle like a 35-minute per game season, basically, which is tough. Tough
Like,
for a cornerstone.
how many can we even say in the league right now can handle 35 minutes a game at 7 feet tall? It's like there's Jokic, and that's it.
Giannis,
I can't think of another one.
Yeah, Giannis, if he's 7 feet, he's like I always see 6'11" or 7 feet, but he's just basically there. So yeah, I
Even
guess.
Giannis this year was hurt a lot.
Yeah, he's
And
had bad
last
years
year
like
too.
that.
Last year
Wemby,
too.
Wemby will get there. He
Yeah,
did.
he's on a minutes restriction this year though. They're not going to try it out this year. He's on like a 25 minute a game restriction, and he's still
Embiid
averaging more
every
blocks
year except
than Gobert this year.
Chet
Embiid
will.
last season.
Chet's there now.
He's doing more than 35 a game right now.
I think Chet probably. I mean, in the 30s at least, probably.
Yeah, because who else is their center?
Well,
Yeah,
don't they put up both the Jalen Williams out there sometimes in the regular
Who are
season?
both 6'8" and under?
Well, I mean, the rest of that team's not big though. That was their problem against the Mavericks.
But that's what I'm saying. That when they need any sort of length, he is their only guy.
I mean, like you also don't want to play the guy when you can't play.
Looks like he averaged 30, and he played all 82. It's pretty durable.
Played all 82, which is wild. I remember him tweeting about that. He's like, Mikal Bridges does this shit every year. What the fuck?
I do. I love when young guys take pride in that. That's one of the reasons I fucking love Tatum. He's
Yeah.
always there for us, dude. Tatum's always there for us.
Chet played 29.4 minutes per game on 82 games. That's as good as you're gonna get.
It's about as durable as you can get for a center, yeah.
For a
I mean,
rookie,
granted, look what it got him in the playoffs. By the time the second round came around, he was fucking, his legs were shot. But
That's his
for all
GM's
intents and
fault.
purposes, this is his fucking rookie year. He played 82 games. He hasn't played a full season before in the NBA, so
Fucking Daniel
next year.
Gafford was available at the deadline, and so they got Gordon Hayward. Tell me that they wouldn't have been an exponentially better playoff team if they got Daniel Gafford.
it's very weird.
they might be in the finals.
Do you think that the Mavericks would have been better if they got Gordon Hayward instead of Daniel Gafford?
No.
They could use some shooting right now.
They'd be in the same spot right now, let me tell you, but they wouldn't be
I
better.
think they might be better if you actually played Hayward because you would have some shooting on the floor.
I think
we-
Hayward is cooked.
I mean, like they got fucking Dante Exum out there right now. I think that he could probably give you better minutes than that.
I don't know.
Dude, looking at their bench, it's like, how are people actually saying they're deeper?
Maxi Kleber is out there with one shoulder right now.
Yeah, they were talking about on Simmons' podcast today. Like Kleber is obviously he just can't. His shoulder's so janky, but he's so valuable on defense that they need him out there.
Even then, he's not even playing good on defense. He's getting cooked.
He's getting six fouls, you know,
Yeah, he's just
and
six fouls.
he's relatively athletic.
Like basically, hey, give somebody a breather for fucking 5 minutes. Can we survive with you on the floor? And we were all worried before this series about Pritchard playing and everything like that. Like he played 12 minutes last night and it was a positive.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
They've been great on defense, him and Sam.
Yeah, they don't overreact to having one of them on Luca. They basically tell him, hey, just get up into his body, don't give up a three. If he takes a hard mid range over the top of you, okay.
Sam was
Does
real
it-
bad on offense in game 2, though.
They've both been terrible on offense, but like you're surviving with them on the floor and getting guys rest.
Yeah,
Dude,
Which,
and I,
which is something
Dude.
that before the series that we're scared. Like, oh, Kyrie's out there, Luca's out there. Can we play these guys? Like, no, they've been fine. They stuck with the game plan. Like the game plan has been let Luca shoot over the top of you for hard twos, and then in the fourth quarter he's gassed. And they don't overreact. They haven't sent like two guys at Luca like all his series basically. The fucking 3 times that they have, like it was a lively lob for a dunk. It was an unbelievable pass to a wide open 3 that got bricked. And like I think then Luca had that crazy one where he drove left on them and like threw like around a guy behind his back, like from underneath the backboard on one bounce to Dante Exum for a 3. Like he's unbelievable.
I tell you what, and I know it's Luka Magic, and it is who he is. In the crunch time there, he was throwing a lot of behind the back passes, one of them which was a crucial interception. That would piss me off so bad as a Mavericks fan. I'd be like, just fucking make a normal pass. Don't get all fucking fancy with it. But I know that's like, it
Some of
works.
those
It works
passes-
8 times out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, it's like that's the only way you can get that pass. Like, he's getting trapped in the corner. Like, there's no way he's going to turn and throw it over the top of Tatum. Tatum just played it smart and had his hands up for one of them. But he
Yeah,
had 8 turnovers last night.
Mhm.
Like, he had 11 assists, but he had 8 turnovers.
and they're ugly.
Like, 32, 11, and 11 is pretty great, but then you got 8 turnovers with it. And you're trash in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
Who's your Finals MVP through 2?
I think it's Namias Queta for his bench celebrations.
I'll tell you what. It's Jason Tatum is still favored.
Yeah, I know. Like, the numbers are weird. Drew Holiday is like a plus 750 to win it. And, like, have you seen the way he's played the first 2 games?
I think it's Drew. Wait, it's
Like,
Jalen or Drew?
Yeah, I mean, like you could make an argument for Jalen or Drew, or you can even make an argument for Tatum because the hub of the offense is running around him, and he's playing great defense. The shooting numbers aren't there, but like if you watch the games, you can see the impact he has on a night-to-night basis.
The haters online are like, this is the first time I'd ever give it to the team that's probably going to lose the finals. I give the MVP to the player that's going to lose. Like,
Maybe the second
as
time
if
it
you
ever-
weren't going to give it to LeBron James
Yeah.
that year.
What?
It's just
No.
hate. The haters and losers are sick.
No, I'm at such a like you said with Nirvana. That's how I am with all the haters now. I kind of just am like just kind of just basking in the jealousy basically of like all the talking points of like them just trashing Tatum. It's like get over it and just fucking acknowledge the team and just don't even say it if you're just gonna repeat the takes.
It's wild too, because it's just take artists that are doing it. Because like even like the guys, like I've seen guys online that don't like Tatum and they don't like the Celtics, and they're like, yeah, Tatum's not shooting well, but like you can tell he's impacting the game. Like if you
Yeah,
just have a pair of eyes, you can see like, sure the shot's not there, but the impact is.
I
that's
don't know.
kind of what
Russillo and
was
Simmons thought Tatum was fucking terrible, and they're both guys who like Boston.
Yeah, I mean like well, Bill Simmons is like a fucking roller coaster. Like that dude, every other game is like fucking. Tatum's the greatest player to ever play, and oh, this guy's fucking terrible. Should we even give him a max? Oh, that guy's a roller
a tough
coaster.
year.
I'm severely enjoying the downfall of Stephen A. Smith, though. That's been great to watch online. There, people are ragging on him for his Will Smith takes and for fucking oh, fucking Bob Myers called him out the other night on the ESPN broadcast talking about how he rips down players and shit like that. Stephen A's like, I would never do that. It's like, dude, what kind of bubble you live in your own head that you think that you don't do that?
I mean, his most famous tirade is fucking
Kwame Brown,
yeah.
the man can't catch.
Lamar Odom, who was on crack.
I
Like,
know.
this fucking guy. Oh, this is great to watch him just fall.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's not going anywhere,
Yeah, no. Once you get, he's like a bank. Once you get so big, you can't fail.
and he is got bank. He's
Mm.
He like missed he did correct I think he like when you have the 50-50 chance on the broadcast going to the finals, didn't he get it wrong like 8 straight years? He's just like not known to be like I think in the LeBron spree he picked the wrong way every single time, like either against LeBron or for LeBron. So he's never been on our TV to be accurate like
No,
one. And
it's
Skip
just,
is literally LeBron hate. Look, Skip's career was hating the greatest player of our generation.
and now he's like buried somewhere on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
And every one of his co-hosts hates it by the time they're done there. Like, fucking, I'm just tired of like ESPN prancing him around like he's like amazing. Like they show like an intro walk of fucking Stephen A. Smith in a fucking suit before the game. Like, why the fuck do I care about Stephen A. Smith walking through the tunnel? I couldn't give a shit less about this fucking guy. He just looks like a tool bag every time I see him on my TV.
I mean, the only thing that matters, I think he picked the Mavs. Did Wilbon pick the Mavs to win the
Uh,
series?
Probably. There's 9 out of 8, or no, it was like 9 picked the Mavs, 8 picked the Celtics. Out of
And one of the
ESPN.
guys that picked the Celtics was Josh Hart, who honestly is probably the only opinion you can respect on the panel right now because he's played against both these teams
And he's
this season.
he's a current NBA player too.
Yeah, like he's probably the only one whose opinion is valuable, and he's like, yeah, the Celtics are.
Oh, I heard somebody before we get off the subject. I heard somebody on sports radio call Kendrick Perkins Benedict Perkins, and I thought that was the funniest fucking thing. I haven't laughed that hard in a while.
Yeah, Perk is he's an interesting character.
He's just trying to get a bag. He just says whatever to get a bag.
Yeah, but hey, listen, that's the
Hey,
game.
respect the game, but then don't get fucking
No, I
upset
don't have to
online when
respect the
people
game.
say what you fucking get irritated about what you say. Like,
Yeah, we need more Leon Pose and less Kendricks out there.
yeah, more ball knowers.
So, I hate to say this. I don't even want to put it out there, but we are Celtics up 2-0 in the finals. We've been here before, and it hasn't gone our way. What
This, this team's different.
I know, I know,
This
and
team is a lot
the other
different.
team is also very different.
Yeah.
Well, we were 2-1, weren't we? 1-1 though.
Yeah, I think we went up 2-1. I think we were
Yeah,
up.
we went.
We were
We
Oh,
up
we
won
didn't win
game.
the
1-1.
first two at home.
No.
I'm pretty sure we lost game 2 and then won game 3. Because you always hear we were up 2-1, not up 2-0. You know what I mean? They would say 2-0 if it was.
Well,
Yeah. But
fuck
it
me
was.
running.
But yeah, similar vibe though, and that you can feel that energy though. That's why they're like you can see that you can tell that they've lost by the way they play.
What do
Yeah,
you think is the result here? Do we think it's a foregone conclusion? It's Celtics in what, or do we think the Mavs have any realistic chance of taking four out of the next what, fucking five?
yeah. Um,
We shoot better on the road, man. That's not even That's not even like a joke.
Yeah,
We're undefeated on the road. Our role players are better on the road. They've been so bad on at home. I'm honestly thinking we could sweep.
I would love to see a sweep, just so that like the OCD 80 and 20, a straight 100 games, and you get a nice even percentage out of it. And I can remember it forever. But like I think Game 4 closeout game in Dallas, I think that's one of those ones where it's really hard to close out a team, and I think they might steal that one back.
I don't know, man. This Celtics team doesn't really lose closeout games.
We don't,
I
Yeah,
think if
but
we're gonna lose, it's game 3.
I think Luca gets
If
worse, dude. I don't know. I
it's
don't think.
like it's just gonna matter if is Kyrie gonna get better.
Yeah,
I
they're
think that's
also
it. Luca is, I mean, for all intents, he's trying his fucking best out there. He's the one. He's
he's a
not getting any help.
he's a one man show right now.
Yeah, if he gets any amount of help, it's going to be a lot closer of a game, and Celtics are more likely to, drop it. One.
I don't know about this one. I don't know about this year.
like
Maybe
you were
those
saying,
close games.
we had our bad shooting night though. Like you were saying, I think we're actually in for like some crazy offense game, and
Water's
it's
gonna find
I
its
think that
level.
which will happen in the next two. Like I literally think we're gonna have our best game in the next two.
If we have an above average shooting night from three, then we're gonna win the game because like we're getting whatever threes we want.
There's just no way Tatum's going to keep this pace up.
Even if Tatum does keep this pace up, if he just cuts his shots down a little bit and makes a couple extra passes, then you're still gonna be averaging 10 assists a game. And he's still good enough that you need to send two at him because if you don't, then he's gonna get hot.
Are we worried about Kristaps at all?
No, I'm not that worried about him. I mean, like he's dinged up, but he's gonna play. Like I said in the group chat earlier, like if he's good to go for game 3, then start him. Give him 5 minutes. If he doesn't look right, then sit him for the rest of the game.
And this
Like,
is where the space in this between the series is really right benefits the Celtics and the
well,
Celtics only. Although you can
game
argue
3 and
if
4 is every other. Game
yeah,
3 is
but we
Wednesday.
we
Game
don't play
4
again
is
until
Friday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, but you would like to be able to see him for 5 minutes in game 3, and then if he's not right, give him another 2 days off before game 4.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I mean, still, you get time off, which is great for the old guys in the team like Al. Like
Yeah,
Al's loving this.
he's probably going to see an uptick in minutes coming up, regardless of how KP is.
He'll be doing 35, like he usually does. Then you got to piecemeal the other 13 minutes between. You could run small and put Hauser out there for 4 or 5 minutes. Maybe
Let's
even
get a
get
good let's get a
Pritchard.
good Luke Cornett game going.
I really don't want to see Luke Cornett out there. As much as I love Luke, like that's fucking Luka Doncic 5 step back threes in 5 minutes action
Luke
right there.
Cornett 35 triple double game immediately is the favorite to win it Finals MVP.
He
Steve,
puts Luka
you
in the
might
fucking
stop
basket.
rooting for the Celtics.
He puts fucking Luka Doncic in the basket for like 5 straight possessions. They're just dropping it into him like fucking prime Shaq.
Dude, I honestly, I'd love if like Tillman got minutes because I'd love because honestly, I think that I don't think Luca could. I think Tillman would stay in front of Luca like just like Al is, where he's like
Yeah,
heavy and not it. He doesn't. You don't have to be the freaking quick side to side with Luca. I think
yeah,
Tillman would work. I mean, we'd still have Jason to destroy the lob threat anyway. But
yeah. You can still run Luka. The only problem is on offense.
yeah,
Is you have to have Tillman shooting those corner threes just to keep
Mhm.
them um, honest
Space.
on their defense. But he's not hitting them, so that's the only problem I have with Cornette out there too. There's no spacing.
yep,
You have more vertical spacing with Cornette than anybody else because Cornette's actually a pretty good lob catcher for what he is. I mean, he's not like we think of a lob catcher. We see Lively, we see Gafford, we think of like Dwight Howard, but like he's actually a pretty good lob catcher. So you get the vertical spacing, which could be good, I guess. So
Run a big lineup. I wouldn't hate running a big lineup out there with Tatum at the point, Derek, Jalen, Al, and him.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
I
You can
wouldn't hate
put
that.
Drew instead of Derek out there and get even bigger.
Well, no, Derek is taller.
Drew's more stout though. Like when it comes to actually playing, when you're trying to go big, you want big defenders.
Fine,
But
twist
either
my
way,
arm.
you're fucking
I don't
damned
care.
if you do, damned if you don't.
yeah, they're yin and yang.
Pick your
Yeah,
fucking poison.
that's fucking pure chaos of a backcourt. That fucking almost 8 second violation that they turned into a fucking turnover and a drew three was unbelievable.
So good.
So Steve, you're picking what? The sweep?
Yeah, I feel sweet. I mean, just like the way the Celtics are playing, they're not getting stagnant on offense. If they do it, Joe calls a quick timeout, and they get right back to what they were doing. Like they're running their shit right, getting whatever shots they want, really whenever they want them. Luca and Kyrie aren't going to get better defensively as this series goes on. Like they're I don't know what their game plan is to change that. They're whoever Luca and Kyrie is guarding is just coming up and setting a screen, and they're just giving up the switch, which is just very strange. Like I don't understand why you're not working hard to fight over the top of that and blitzing the ball out of people's hands. But I guess it's kind of the same thing as why you don't blitz Luca because you're going to get in rotation.
Mm.
But like you're still going to get in rotation if Luca gets blown by anyways. So maybe see a little bit more blitzing out of him and see what happens. See if you can get a turnover game out of Tatum.
Well, he already had one of those.
We saw that in game one.
Yeah.
It wasn't even them fucking blitzing him. He was just kind of fucking losing the ball all over the place.
All right,
But like, I
Jacob,
don't
what
see
about
what
you?
the adjustments are. Like, you just got to press the do better button. Like, that's all you can do.
Yeah, the thing is, I think we win the next game because I feel like we have a bounce back game, shooting wise. And then then at that point, unless we win crazy and they wrap it up, and no one really try. If it's a close game, next game, and we win, and Luke has to play the whole game, I don't see how they could even win game four. I feel like Luka's just deteriorating. I don't know the way that he ended last game, and he just couldn't. He's like he's getting an injury after every game, and he just has been doing too much for someone that I don't even know.
Luke is a bit frustrating at times because you can't ever really tell with him. When the shot's going in and he can't miss, he's like fired up. He's the best player on the planet. When he starts missing a few, that's when he's limping up the court. It's a bit that would piss me off so bad if I was a Mavs fan.
Well,
Like, imagine if Tatum did that shit. Just
that's
started.
just a mentality thing. Is all it is. Like, that's what everybody's mentality would be. Like, hey, like I don't feel great. I'm in pain. I'm missing shots.
I
It just
don't think
doesn't
that's
feel
about
great.
Tatum. Nobody on the Celtics would
Well,
do
like yeah,
that.
but after you hit a shot, you always feel better. You get a little bit of adrenaline going, especially in the finals. Like Isaiah Thomas, like when fucking he blew out his ankle, like, he still was fucking feeling good after every shot. He
His
wasn't really
how
limping after a shot.
he was questionable before game two. The
Yeah, but like
first half,
we talked about that.
the first half, he looked like unstoppable, and you're like, okay, he's obviously not hurt at all. He looks like he's fired up. It's not like all of a sudden the thoracic nerve started kicking in
It
at,
might
at
have.
halftime.
It might have. You just sat down and you have no adrenaline going for fucking 20 minutes of just sitting there.
Maybe, maybe,
You
maybe,
know?
maybe. I
It got
can't get.
tighter over halftime. And also, this has been in both games, even before the thoracic injury. Like game one, he shot 1 of 7 from the field in the fourth quarter. Like it's just how we're playing him. We're just wearing him down. Every time on offense, he has to do something. Every time on defense, he has to do something. So like you're just wearing him out slowly but surely, and that's why the fourth quarter looks bad for him.
He was
Interesting.
just front rimming everything too in the second half. He just like had no energy. And honestly, if you have leg injuries too, that means you just don't have as much bend and like
Yeah,
bounce.
doesn't he have a fucking knee sprain and an ankle sprain that he's dealing with too?
Yeah, the thing I think yeah, who knows too. While he's playing, he's probably re-aggravating as the game goes on. If he's like getting it to playing shape, but it's like kind of sketchy, you like definitely could be like kind of swelling as the game goes and
Yeah,
getting
I
worse.
mean, I think that we're gonna look back at Lucas. We're gonna find out in the offseason that Lucas gonna have some like surgeries or something like that, or like something going on. Do you think this is the year that Luca decides in the offseason to get into shape before the season starts? Or do you think he's just gonna keep doing what he's doing? Is
Jokic
I
he
don't
might
just
see
gonna
do
be
him.
that.
hitting the hookah bar and 12 packs on Saturday nights, or do you think he's gonna be hitting the gym?
I don't see him being like, we made it to the finals. Okay, now I actually have to get my ass in shape. I think he's probably just like, whatever I'm
Well,
doing is working. I just need some help.
maybe in the fourth, maybe he looks back at his fourth quarter performances and is mad about how he didn't have the legs in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like me and Rock.
So Jacob, sweeper. So you think sweep?
Yeah, I'm going sweep. I mean, it's not like it's like I mean, I could still see 5 in a, obviously. I'm gambling on tomorrow, but because I think if we win tomorrow, we sweep. But I
Yeah.
just I don't know. I just feel like we're gonna get better and they're gonna kind of get worse. Because I think that Kyrie might get better, but I don't think Luka's gonna do better than last night, efficiency wise. Like I don't think he's gonna shoot over 50. Wasn't he over 50% last night? I feel like he's just gonna get more tired.
Yeah. Um, and I said before, I think it's going to be a sweep. I said 5 originally, then I switched it to a sweep, and it's looking more and more like
I'm
either way, I'm
switching
in
to
the
a
money.
sweep too. I think I might switch to a sweep too.
Yeah.
I talked you into the sweep originally. I think you just talked me into the sweep on this one.
Um, Jason Kidd trying to divide and conquer here. Jalen Brown's the best player on that team. Now, everybody with eyeballs and a brain knows that's not true. Although Jalen Brown is a phenomenal player, a top 20, 15, 10 player, however you want to slice it, Jason Tatum is a top 5 player in the league. He is not as good as Jason Tatum. Jalen Brown is not as good as Jason Tatum. What do you think? Do you think that's like just a desperation, like let's really fuck with Tatum, get him off his game? I mean, and even if that's working, which you could argue that it might be, offensively at least, it's not really resulting in W's for the Mavs. So what kind of desperation move do you think they pull now? Was Kid the one who dumped like a full Coca-Cola on the court?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a fucking cup of water. He told the guy to bump him so he can get an extra timeout, which
Yeah,
I respect that move so hard. Like that's just a wily fucking vet former player just pulling some shit. I don't respect the talking to the media trying to pit the two guys against each other thing. And also like if you're gonna say it, then like have your actions back it up because you're still doubling Tatum and tripling Tatum every time. You're not doubling Brown. If you really thought Brown was the better player, you'd be doubling him, not Tatum. So like let's if you're gonna talk about it, be about it. And so we know you're just full of shit at that point.
so I
For your
guess
guys.
what do you think? What you and I don't want to just say there's nothing, because you can't say that as a head coach. If you're Jason Kidd, what what or if you're the Mavericks, what can they do to get back in the series and make it give themselves a chance of winning, or what can they do to win the series?
It's got to be 3 point variance, right? Like you have to shoot more threes. You have to find a way to generate more threes.
Well, I
Because
mean, I
right
think they
now,
take a lot of threes. I think they have to make them.
we took 13 more threes in them last night, I think.
Yeah.
Because we're not giving up the three. Like we're running Luca off the line or running Kyrie off the line. The threes that we are giving up are above the break threes to like PJ Washington and Derek Jones Jr. And apparently, since they're gonna strut Dante Exum out there, we're gonna give him as many as he wants. Like you just have to find a good 3 point shooting night. Like you got to hope that your role players come through in there because role players play better at home. So you have to assume that Kyrie's going to play better because right now he's a role player, and
So
you
your
just got to shoot
strategy
more
is to
threes.
set up more threes and hope they
You
gonna,
have to get. I don't
hope they
know
hit them.
the logistics of it. Like I'm not. I don't study tape. I don't run film. Like I'm sure probably like the guys that we listen to, like JJ and the dunker spot. Those guys could probably figure out a way that you could set up more threes, but you really have to generate more threes if you want to beat the Celtics. So you're not going to beat them with ISO twos. You have to. They got to find a way to move the ball because I think they're averaging like 20 something less passes per game than their average for the regular season. So like you got to find a way to move the ball and get it in rotation. Otherwise, like it turns into ISO 2 pointers, and we're gonna beat this fucking horse till it's dead again. But like Luka's gonna be tired by the end of the game. Like if you're just gonna make him dribble the ball out for 14 seconds and run through three guys to get a bucket, he's gonna be tired. And then we're gonna hit threes on the other end, and you're not gonna be able to catch up.
Jacob, what about you?
I mean, it's tough because in my head, I'm like, I was thinking of like what they could do better, like maybe change the defense plan, like of maybe trying to. I was thinking like maybe they should adapt the man to man because obviously the doubling and trying to like yeah, just leaving our shooters opens is not working. So maybe they should try to change that. But then that's when I think Tatum is going to explode, and then that's when we like then that's when the thing is they have to do that because they have someone like Luca who they're trying to preserve on defense. It's like if they go one-on-one against us, like and don't double and stuff, I feel like that we're just gonna hunt. Like we've been hunting Luca. I don't think their defense can get much better because I think Luca's always gonna be a liability. So yeah, like you're saying, they got to hope that their players play better at home, but also we're undefeated on the road this playoffs. So we kind of play better on the road. Honestly think our shooters feel less pressure on the road.
Or they just like it more. I think Peyton Pritchard might like it that there's a little bit more pressure.
Dude,
He's a
there's
little
less
bit
noise.
sicko.
I honestly think they like how it's kind of a vacuum when like you know what I mean. They don't get cheered for, like you know what I mean. It's kind of just silent when they do well. I don't know. It just there might be something to it. There's a lot of pressure to doing well in front of the fans.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different when you can be like the bad guy, the villain, and be the guy who stomps on another fan base than to be the guy who doesn't let a fan base down. Um,
And you're
yeah,
well, I was gonna say just one more thing to that. Also, you're not trying to not give up home court advantage. You're kind of playing with house money on the road. You're like, if I get one, we're winning the series. So that's kind of that too. Like you kind of have a monkey on your back when you're at home.
yeah, yeah. The pressure is sort of relaxed, although it's the NBA Finals, so I'd like you to be on your A game. But yeah, I agree with everything. I think you got to get more threes. There's just no way you're going to beat the Celtics with twos. And especially if you do think Jaylen Brown is a better player than Jason Tatum, you stop doubling Jason Tatum and you dare him to beat you for however wise or unwise that it may be. But you can't keep letting up open shooters because the Celtics are just not going to shoot like that again.
We might
And
still.
yeah, and even if we do, we still you gotta pray that you can at least get one other player to be good on your team or have a great game because to beat us. We're just I don't know, fucking eat your Wheaties and pray. That's all you can do if you're a Mavs fan.
Eat a hot chip and pray.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
They've
that's
tried
about it.
everything, like defensively.
Yeah.
Like they've tried being physical with us. They've ran a couple zones at us. Like there's not really much you can do. You have two huge liabilities on the court at all times.
Yeah.
And if you want more offense, then you end up with Maxi Kleber and Dante Exum out there, which is like, okay, that's two more liabilities on defense.
Like you got to pray that Luca's somehow going to get healthier while having to do everything while injured.
Yeah. They keep trying to sit him too. Like, Kid likes to give him the long breaks, sit him at like 3 or 2 minutes left in a quarter and get him like that into the end of the quarter, into the next quarter. But like he keeps sitting him, and then like a minute and a half later, the Celtics are up by another fucking 8 points. He's like, all right, I got to put you back in. Like I can't even get you the long rest. So they might have to run him even longer in the game three.
And
And
dude,
if
it's
they win game three, then he might play 48 minutes at game four if it's close.
he's like a rib thing too as well now, right? Like doesn't he have a rib frame
Yeah,
or like bruise or something?
yeah, that's part of his thoracic thing. I think is one
Yeah.
of his rib too. Because like if you watch when he got trucked by Jaylen Brown when he took that charge in game one, like he got fucked up.
And that fucks up your instincts to have like your body hurting like that. Like he's gonna be
Yeah.
you've seen it. He's been shying away from everything.
And like a lot of times on defense, he ends up being the low man who's supposed to help because he has a big body, but like he doesn't want to get in there.
Might take him out for the series if he takes a crazy hit.
Uh,
Celtics are underdogs on the road by 2 points.
it's up to 2 points. It was 1.5 before. I think that's easy money to lay down. I think
Yeah,
Vegas
me
thinks
too.
that the role players are going to play better on the road. And it's not like the Celtics put up a crazy great performance last game, so. But the defense will still be there. The defense will always travel, and that's how we won last game on defense. And Water will find its level with those 3-point shots because it's not like we were forcing threes.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried. Scott Foster's looming in the distance.
Dude, we
I
already
know.
beat Tony Brothers, all right?
I know, but he fucking tried his damnedest, dude. That guy, that fucking ref. The refs have been bad, and
For everybody. Like,
for-
like,
yeah,
Mavs fans are complaining, Celtics fans are complaining.
they're not good. They've not been good. But it's just like it's such a physical series. I don't know what the fuck they can do, really.
Dude, that's the thing about the like Jalen did fucking foul him, but if the play before that, Jason got fouled fucking hard. It just wasn't as much of a highlight, so it wasn't on the replays every second to see the foul. But like that should have been stopped already. The block
Yeah.
shouldn't even happen because Jason should have been free throws. So I feel like people arguing that people are like, oh, if that call was made correctly, the Mavs are better. It's like, yeah, the play before was called incorrectly against the Celtics. Like, if we're doing that game, it just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
And it's
Also,
like,
yeah, if they make that, let's just say that is a foul and he makes the two free throws, it's still a 4 point game with like a minute and a half left. It's still like not like that would have won them the game.
yeah, I mean, it's the rest were swallowing their whistle all night, so like you can't expect them to make that call with a minute and a half left of a playoff game.
Also, I don't know when it's been fully legal to tackle somebody, but Jaylen Brown got full on tackled by I think Daniel Gafford out at the 3 point line.
Yeah,
It's like,
there
what
was
the
some
fuck are we
wild
doing?
Tatum got tackled going down the lane. They're like, "Yeah, you weren't shooting that ball." I was like, "The
Yeah,
fuck do you mean he wasn't shooting the ball? He was taking a second step, gathering to shoot the ball."
yeah, fucking
Fuck, even
awful.
the fucking Mavs players were walking over to the free throw line to get set up for him to shoot. Like everybody knew he was shooting, and Luca got the call on the other end. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
No, they were just. The problem is they started letting them get physical in the game one, and they just never really did anything about it.
Also, I didn't know you could just avoid a screen by taking the screener and just throwing him into the fucking third
Oh, they
row.
called that one on Lively on Porzingis when he was like he was running fullback down the lane and just knocked him over, and they were like, "No, you can't do that."
But dude,
Like
like
we're swallowing
watch
the
every single
whistle,
time.
but you can't do that.
Watch every time Chris Stapps tries to set a screen coming up. He gets legitimately chucked by his
Yeah,
man.
Lively does it all the time, and the problem is they started letting him get away with it, so now they can't call it. And then I feel kind of bad because in game one, like they didn't call it for the whole first half, and then he had 5 fouls in the third quarter. It was like, oh, now you're gonna start blowing the whistle?
Has been pretty bad.
Yeah, he's like him and Gafford. You can't play them. They're non-factors on offense, and defensively they're non-factors too because you're just dragging them out.
You can't say Lively has been like a non-factor on offense. They average like the most alley oops in playoff history, and he's
Yeah,
the
but
finisher.
in this series right now, he has like 4 total points.
Yeah, no, I know he's not
That's
been
what I
good.
mean. He's a non-factor on offense in this series, and
Yeah,
they're a non-factor on defense in the series too because we're just dragging them out with Horford and Porzingis. Or you got to go out there and try and guard Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown up at the top. Like, have fun. Like, you're a non-factor completely. When you
Yeah,
nullify two of their key guys, without having to change anything about yourself, like it's kind of hard for the team to adjust. Like, you're not game planning for them. You're just running your offense, and they're just no, they can't play.
I think we just game planned against Lively really well because he's 20 and it's like this is like the rookie wall. It just happened really late. I just feel like we're exposing his weakness. He literally is only a lob threat. So if you cancel a lob, what the hell is he doing?
yeah, it's
It's
not
like the
like he's
young
a
Dwight
shooter.
Howard. It's like what they used to do to young Dwight Howard. Like, just go down there and hit him before he can jump, and then like he can't do anything.
And Tatum's bigger, which is crazy.
Oh, there was a weird one where fucking Tatum posted up Lively, and I was like, okay. I mean, Tatum was struggling. He's like, you're gonna go to post a guy who's probably as big as you, maybe just a little bit stronger, and they
He's
sent a double team to fucking double Tatum. It's like you don't trust Lively to guard him on a fucking post up. I get sending a double if he's out there dribbling in the perimeter, but like he's posting him up and you're not gonna let him play. Like that was a
Tatum
weird
has
one.
like, but Tatum does have borderline like elite post play.
Yeah, he's really good, but I mean like you don't send a double when you got the same size guy on him. Like if it was like Kyrie on him, then send the double. But I don't know. That just was a surprise to me.
Did you see Kyrie said on his way out the door, "We'll be back in 5."
Yeah, he did the same thing that Anthony Edwards did to them last series, and then guess what happened in Game Five?
I also I also like legitimately would bet that he did that when we beat him 2-0 against the Nets. Like I
Right.
honestly would guarantee he was like, we're not getting swept, and then they did.
Mhm.
Because
I mean,
like the closeout stat, it was annoying because it's like people like are acting like Kyrie's like he could have like a negative playoff percentage at this rate. I feel like people like think he's like I mean while he's healthy, I mean like people think he's like a complete winner. It's like he's awesome and he's like one of the more skilled players ever, but he does fall apart. Like and he has done it most playoffs that he's been in. Like literally only didn't once.
Yeah, the only time that he didn't, he was on a team with LeBron, and it was like, hey, if you don't have it, then guess what? LeBron has it because it's LeBron. Like we don't need you to have it tonight because LeBron will find a way to make J.R. Smith really good this series and Kevin Love really good this series. There
Like
was
think
really
of
no pressure on him at that point.
I can't think of like one playoff run other than the one they won the championship that he didn't flame out sad at the end.
No, I mean he did with the Celtics.
Yeah, that Celtics one was really gross.
Yeah, and they
There
did
was
with
no
the
effort
Rams.
on either side of the ball with him in that one.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, well, that's ancient history. We're here now. Celtics up 2-0. We're
two
feeling
more to
good.
glory.
Two more till 18.
Morning glory.
It's
I
funny.
think
I
we're
was
gonna do it, man.
encouraged by a bad game too. I'm happy with the bad game too. I feel like we got out of our system. I'm like more confident for the next game, which is funny after a bad night.
Oh, dude, I'm so confident for the next game because like you're not going to shoot that bad again on open shots.
Dude, I
No,
might
I
bet
mean,
Tatum. I might bet Tatum like 30 and a win.
you know
All
what's
he's
like
got to do is
the biggest lock of every single game for a prop is Derek White over point 5 blocks.
yeah, he's
It,
going to get a block every game.
but
He's
it's like it's not even great. Like you can't even get great juice with it. It's like minus 170.
It's so wild as a guard. Like
He's
that's
trying to
such a
parlay at
like
least.
a deep boy. Like
Throw
oh
that in
my
a parlay with like Jalen over 20 points because I think you could have bet before the series Jalen every single game to have finished over 20 points, and that would have been a lock.
you got you can also do Drew PRAs too because Drew's been killing it. Drew's 9 of 9 in the paint last night. Like our new 6'4" center, Drew Holiday. Like, what are you gonna do with this fucking team? Like, our center's standing in the fucking corner, and Drew Holiday's beating you up in the paint. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Doesn't even make no fucking sense.
Getting 11 rebounds too.
The first 2010 game of the year, and it's game 2 of the NBA Finals in a game where nobody can shoot.
That's very Drew Holiday of him though.
I love Drew Holiday. It's been so nice to have him back.
Yeah,
Never.
he does feel like the I don't know, big difference maker, I guess. I guess it's Kristaps, but like I don't know. He's just like as I said it before, when he gets in that mode, he's like, we're not fucking losing this game. Like we're not losing that game because he can do everything out there. Score, facilitate, play airtight defense, lock up everybody. It's just
Yeah,
he's
Drew.
truly like a I don't know. If you were to break down the best point guards, where do you think Drew would lay? Like in terms of best
In the
point,
league
and
right now?
I mean like actual guards. I don't mean like Luka Doncic point guard.
Like in the league right now,
Yeah,
I'd probably put him like top 5. Without really thinking about anything other than just pure feels and vibes right now, because Lord knows I forget fucking 35 people every time that we do one of these fucking things.
I think he has a genuine argument for top 5. He might not have the stats of a Damian Lillard. I get it,
I would take
but
him
that
over.
that just means you don't watch the games.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, if you're just looking at straight up, like, actually watching games, the most, like, pure way to, like, make arguments about this shit and not stats, because we're assholes. But, like, Damian Lillard missed a shitload of time this year. He's a non-factor on defense.
Well,
Drew Holiday
right.
does everything. Like, he does everything on both sides.
Dam's a negative on defense, not even a non-factor. He's a cone.
Yeah, he's bad on defense.
Type you can't even play at the end of a game if they have like a crazy offensive guard.
Which is wild that your guy who averaged 30 points a game multiple seasons is like, yeah, we just can't play you at the end of a game. Sorry. Hey, Giannis, like, I hope you like having this guy on your team. He's on the bench.
Clearly injuries though. He wasn't always like that so much of a. He was never good at defense, but he definitely wasn't a liability. Now he's just a liability.
He's also
Like,
old.
Yeah,
who's your top
exactly.
5 guards in the league right now? Pull up the
That
fucking.
like actual guards.
I mean, like, I'm liking, like, Steph.
Steph,
Probably be up there. I'm
Jalen Brunson.
Does Luca count?
You gonna put
No.
Brunson up there already?
Yeah, I count Jalen Brunson in there right now.
Okay.
He's not a total liability on defense, and his offense obviously he's like what he has going this season or had going this season is like that's I don't think it's unsustainable. He has his shot and it's fucking cash every time.
Okay. Mitchell?
Yep.
You think you put Mitchell top 5 guard?
We
But
got Ed and
we're not
Edwards.
putting Trey top 5, I'm assuming.
No.
I think that he's just too bad. What do you think about Hallie?
Shea.
You're gonna put Jalen up there already after one season. Like you're gonna put Halliburton up there too, because Halliburton before he got injured might have been the
Yeah,
second best guard in the league.
I put SGA in there.
I was gonna say Shea's definitely in there, probably like 2 or 1.
Yeah, he might be one.
And then you still got um,
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
you count him as a guard or a two guard. Just
Well,
call
I
him as
didn't
a,
know if I'm shooting guards.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean,
we're doing shooting guards too. I mean, we got Ja,
I was thinking, dude, Ja is
Kawhi.
mind fuck, dude. Ja is like, I'm like, what do I even think about him? I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I
when he
haven't seen
plays,
him
he's
play
unbelievable.
basketball in 2 years.
He's
Yeah,
either hurt
dude.
or suspended every year.
Can he adapt in the new NBA? It's been a year and a half. It's very different already.
Can he adapt to the
No, the thing is, Ja could come back and legitimately be like a top, like he could be like a fringe top 10 player and would be like, oh shit, yeah, he did average like 30 on a 2 seed a year and a half ago.
That team's gonna be so much fun to watch next year with Smart and him too, and be healthy hopefully.
It'd be
Jamal
fun,
Murray.
dude. And if we win this chip, I don't care who is good next year. I'm just gonna be so happy for like 5 years straight. So I'm just be like, oh, well, who cares? Be good, Grizzlies,
I'm just
whatever.
gonna enjoy next season. Like I don't give a fuck if we win or lose. I'm just gonna go
It's
for
all
vibes.
cake after one.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. So Ja Morant, come back, be like one of the best, whatever.
We
And
got
Yeah, I don't have to watch with such like desperation.
dude, I don't.
Like
Kawhi, Kawhi guard.
Kawhi is
No,
not a fucking guard, my man.
who plays guard on that team?
He's not.
Tyrese Maxey. We put him up there yet?
No,
Not top
Maxi's
five yet.
tough. He's fringe.
he's close. I just think he's a little too small.
Book.
Yeah.
How many guys we got so far? Definitely got 5 or 6 so far before we got the Drew.
Yeah. The guards are tough. In the West, you're like, oh, damn, there's like literally like there were snubs for the All-Star game. And they were like
You can
5.
make an argument for why you'd want Drew over a decent amount of these guys, except for a handful.
Yeah, the only guys you can't make an argument about is like maybe Book, SGA,
SGA,
and that's about
Anthony
it.
Edwards.
No, I'd still take Drew over Anthony Edwards.
You think so?
I think his defense is just that elite. Anthony Edwards is a little bit streaky too. If he solidifies and stops being so streaky, then I'd probably take Ant over him. But
Depends what you're talking about. Like for the future, definitely not. But
Yeah, because Ant's
how
21.
about right now? Yeah, we're talking about right now. We're not projecting the future.
Like, I think you can make a
Um,
decent argument for him over Jalen Brunson.
You can make
yeah,
a legit argument because Jalen Brunson's bad defensively. So
You could definitely make an argument for him over John Morant.
yeah, or
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell too. You could make an argument.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's a little tough. I think Donovan Mitchell is.
I don't know. The defense for me is just really it's warping me right now. It's like warping my views on all these guys because like you're looking at the rest of these guys, they're all one-way players basically.
That implies Donovan Mitchell isn't. He's not though. Donovan Mitchell can play defense.
Can, but
Yeah,
does
he
he?
can. It's not like
But
where
does
he's
he?
Trey Young, where he can't play defense. There's nothing he
But
can do to play
yeah,
defense.
he can, but does he? Like
Well,
a lot of guys that can, a lot of guys that do. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess the point, and I think we're all in agreement, is that Drew is a lot closer to the top five than he ain't.
Yeah,
And
it's closer to 3 than he is to 10, I
yes,
think, which is wild because that's your 4th best player on this team. Sometimes 5th.
yeah, like, and you can be like, is he even the best guard on your own team?
Yeah.
You could argue that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely weeks where Derek White's like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I don't. We've got it all down. There's not. I mean, it's 2 games. Kristaps, obviously had an amazing game one, and now got hurt in game two. We'll play it by ear with him.
2 more.
Two
You just
more.
need 2 more. Look, even if Kristaps doesn't play for the rest of the series, I think that you could just run it with Al.
I think we could still sweep with Al.
yeah. That's why I'm not too worried too. Like we didn't even need KP's production last night that much.
He
Like
wasn't really
obviously game one he was fucking crazy, and people are still talking about him as if he replicated that in game two again.
He had 12 points and then a couple of good blocks. Some of his blocks are like, I forgot this fucking guy is this good on this fucking defense. Like, there's some of them where it's like, it gets blown by. I'm like, all right, that's a layup. And then it's like, what the fuck? How was that on the backboard right now?
It's interesting. It's how sick would the NBA be if they got like a more compelling series against the Celtics out of the Pacers than they do the Mavs. Like, so far, I'm infinitely more concerned playing the Pacers than I am playing the Mavs. This time 2 weeks ago, with what I saw gameplay wise, we should have lost game one. A miracle we didn't lose game one. Game two was what? A blow? Was that a blowout?
Yeah, it was a blow. We won that one by 20. And then
But it's
game
just like,
3 was close. Game 4 was close.
and I know Luka Doncic is but like they're not. The rest of the team is not. I don't know. I just feel like the Pacers, they have it together offensively. Everybody on
style
their
of
team
play.
can play.
It's the style of play. Like the Pacers were like the number. Well, I thought that we were the most efficient offense of all time, but it might have been the Pacers. Like they were unbelievable. Like, and people say, "Oh well, Halliburton got hurt." Like Halliburton was hurt for most of the year. Even the games he played, he was playing 25 minutes just so he could make his minimum, so he can get the max.
And honestly, they play better without him.
They were used to playing without him, and their defense is better without him. So
They
like,
play better without him.
It was like hard for us to game plan against. Like we were like, what the fuck are we facing?
there is no offense that they run. Like they just get out there and they just move the ball around, set random screens, flare out, do whatever. Like you can't really game plan for it. You're just spending the entire night reacting to what they're doing.
I mean,
But
everybody can score on their team. Everybody can shoot. Miles Turner can shoot.
And also,
I mean,
they shot an ungodly amount from the fucking mid range. They shot like 70% from the mid range, and that like that's not supposed to happen. Doesn't matter who you are. But it was like now you're going from that to a team that you can study film on. Hey, this is what they want to do. This is how they like to score. We're just gonna game plan against that, and then look what it's doing.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I'm amped up for game 3.
I know.
Yeah,
It's like
Happen.
I'm living my life by games. Like my life, nothing in my life
Make it to
matters.
Wednesday.
I'm just going from game to game to game. That's like the
Yeah,
seminal
that's
markers coming up.
That's what I've been doing for the last like month of Celtics basketball. Like I just gotta make it to Wednesday. I just gotta make it to Friday.
It also sucks that there's no other basketball on, so it's not like I can just like kind of get a little mini fix.
You
You
get
know.
like the WNBA fix going, but like there's only there's 3 dominant teams in the WNBA, and like, the rest of them is like, unless you want
I'm
to
not
watch
getting
Indiana
the
Fever
WNBA.
with Caitlin Clark and watch her just get absolutely bundled by everybody in their
Punch the
closet.
face and shit.
But we're not gonna get into that toxic conversation. That's
I
for
can't
sure.
really get on with a league that doesn't have a team in my own hometown. Like if the Boston had a team, and I know Mohegan Sun or whatever the fuck,
Connecticut.
Connecticut, yeah, the
Suns.
Connecticut Sun is like our team, ipso facto team. But like,
I'm not driving to Hartford to go watch basketball.
why the
I don't
fuck
even
do they
wanna
think
go involved
Connecticut
in
needs
basketball.
a women's basketball team?
Well, they have a fucking arena sitting there, so like they got to do something with it. The only other people, well, they used to have the Whalers used to play there, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
Fuck Connecticut. Not the
Steve, I
Suns.
hope your eye gets better.
I'm just gonna cut it off.
I told you I wanted to bite that big juicy fucking purple berry.
These schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
You think it'd explode in my mouth? Pause.
Probably. It'd probably be about the same color too.
Oh man.
White blood cells built up in his elbow.
On that note, this has been the Banner Report. Season 4, baby. Banner 18 on the way.
Let's go, boys.
Go Seas.
I'm buying champagne on fucking Friday, that's for sure.
Yes. Vote.
Love you guys.
Peace. Go